I'm Peter Loshak. We are kicking off our coverage of the Belmont Stakes this weekend with Jay Cronley, who is a horse racing writer from ESPN.com. Of course, this Belmont Stakes has a potential Triple Crown winner in I'll Have Another, so we will be talking to a bunch of experts this week trying to figure out where the betting value might lie, betting on I'll Have Another or betting against him to become the Triple Crown winner. Jay, thanks so much for doing this call with us.
Peter, what's going on? Listen, I heard you mention value. I've gotten into constant fights with people looking for value, you know. Mm-hmm. Value is another way of saying a horse has got great odds but it's going to get its butt beat.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, let's start with I'll Have Another. Do you think his odds are going to be about right for this race?
Sure, Peter. Listen, there are only 4 horses that have a prayer of winning this race.
Really?
Yeah, there are only 4. And actually there are reasons to bet against all 4 of them. And that's, you know, when I don't know how you do it, but when I look at a race, the first thing I look for, Peter, is a reason not to bet it. I'll Have Another. The reason not to bet on I'll Have Another is obviously it's had those 2 really hard works, and it's also not had a published timed workout between the Preakness and this race. Mm-hmm. Okay, the next one that has a chance to win is Union Rags.
Right.
And that thing will probably run into a bird. I mean, you talk about stuff that goes looking for trouble. Mm-hmm. It's prone to trouble, and it's never, ever been fast as it'll probably need to be. Mm-hmm. The other one that has a chance to win, another one, is Dullahan. It has no wins on the dirt, right? Mm-hmm. No wins on the dirt. And everybody goes, well, that doesn't, yes, it matters. And probably the other one, Peter, that has a chance to win is the only new one that's worth anything is Painter.
Right.
And it's had great, but you know what? It got its numbers on a horrific allowance race in a mud mile. Mm-hmm. And so there's reasons to bet against all 4 of those.
So you're saying that there's 4 horses, good reasons to bet all against them, and then the rest of the field you don't think has a chance at all?
0, none. Nothing else is in here, Peter. They're horrible. It's hideous. It's nothing.
All right. Well, this is reminding me a little bit of the Republican primary, you know, where there was just a bunch of horses and none of them had a shot. So which one do you think is the Mitt Romney for this year's Belmont Stakes?
It is like that. Listen, I have to play Union Rags, and really? I don't like Dullahan. Listen, Dullahan is so late. There's a horse in every race that if it beats you, you just hand over the money and pretend like some little grandmother won and go, great, take it. And so I can't play Dullahan, I can't play Painter, and so it's Union Rags and I'll Have Another. And I'm going to put Union Rags on top of I'll Have Another, and that's that.
Really? So
Sure.
I'm leaning towards Dullahan because he's had a decent break. He has late kick, which makes me think that he'll be have stronger endurance than some of the other horses. Why don't you like Dullahan again? Because he hasn't won.
He's never won a race on the dirt. Listen, he's going to be the second choice, Peter.
Right.
And he's going to be, and people are going to love him, and he's going to be shorter than Union Rags, and it's good. If he gets my money, good, just take it. I don't care.
Yeah, he's never...
I'll just go, write another book, and then there I'll have some more. But I've had horrible luck at Belmont with late horses, and it's what you said. There's the illusion that if you close, you can do well there. But the fractions are going to be slower, and the horses up front are going to have more. And I just don't think he can get around the good ones. But again, Union Rags is so he's got a new jockey. They threw that guy off that sat in the gate in at Churchill, and I've got to play him because if I don't, he'll win.
Wow. All right. Well,
so I got to play him. I've got to play him.
You're definitely convincing me a little bit over to your side, but I feel like, look, Dullahan, yeah, sure, maybe he's never won a race on the dirt, but he's run some pretty good races on the dirt.
And he's run great on artificial turf. He's won. He's the only one, if memory serves, Peter, that has won. He's won 2 Grade 1 stakes races. He's won on fake dirt, and he's won on turf, and he ran great at Churchill. So maybe he can, fine. I just worry about him being too late. Right. He had a great work. And he looks good, and he's kept his weight, and he's fine. And if he wins, just take it.
Wow.
Take my money. I'll pretend like you won it. If he wins, I'll pretend.
and your whole reason for throwing out I'll Have Another is why? Because he hasn't run a published work?
Yeah, and because he had those 2 hard races.
Right.
That's all.
All right.
That's a very bad reason.
Okay. Well,
But at least it's a reason.
Yeah. Before we let you go, just looking at the entire field, can you identify one or two horses that you think might be overvalued and undervalued for matchup props?
Well, Peter, listen, I'm serious. It's those four. Mm-hmm. And if you box those four and sit there and forget about the rest of it.
All right, really? So you think taking one of those four in a matchup prop to beat any horse that's not in those four is going to be a great bet?
If I'll have another, there's going to be souvenir people, Peter, buying him for the souvenir tickets. You know, a $2 win ticket.
Right.
There'll be 5,000 people who buy $2 win tickets on I'll Have Another just to have the ticket. You know, that'll make the track real happy. They won't have to pay out 5,000 those win tickets. If he's going to win the race, then you got to look at second. And if second's the second favorite, if second's Dullahan, then you got to bet $100 cold exacta. Or you've got to play an exotic, which is what I do, a pick 4 or a pick 6. If you like, I'll have another, and you got to bet what you like.
Right.
You can't bet what you need to make. And a lot of people do that. You know, you go, well, that's not going to pay enough, so I'll bet this one it's going to lose. Well, can't do that.
Makes sense to me, Jay. Well, listen, you've given us a lot of great stuff to think about. What a great way to kick off our week-long coverage of the Belmont Stakes coming up this Saturday. Thanks so much to Jay Cronley, horse racing writer for ESPN.com. Thanks so much.
Peter, listen, if Dullahan wins, I'm going to pretend you got my money, okay?
Excellent. Okay, great. Yes, that is the horse I'm leaning to at the moment. All right, thanks so much, Jay.